Now, when we talk about 3 steps to self-hypnosis, you listening could experience and develop your own self-hypnosis program. So there's 3 steps, though, that have to be present for self-hypnosis to occur. And if anyone ever tells you they have the only way that it works or the best way that it works, that's all hogwash. Every person is different. You create your own self-hypnosis process. Now you can learn the 12 that I have and you can learn 50 that someone else has, but the reality is until you find the ones that work best for you, you're just using somebody else's mirror, if you will, to look at yourself and say, hey, I look pretty good in that mirror. But the reality is when you look at yourself in the mirror and you develop your own self-hypnosis, a way to trigger these deep inner resources so that you can begin to communicate in consciousness with that higher part of your nature, changes begin to happen. So first of all, you have to have a system. That's why when you go through the self-hypnosis processes, we're going to train you in here, there's a system to it. Now what I've done is I've modified quite a bit of the NLP techniques that I learned back in the 80s. A prayer. When somebody goes into a certain prayer, they have their beads and they have a system where they go through their beads like their rosary. That is a system of self-hypnosis. If we had them on the EEG machine, a Skio, or any other brain machine, we would see they're going to the same actual states as somebody going into a deep hypnotic trance, but they're going into it for prayer. So the brainwave activities are the same, the purpose is different. So when you think about it, you have to have a system. That's number one. You have to have an expected result. You'll hear me say over and over again that hypnosis is the exact opposite of Zen Buddhism. Now I love Buddhism, but in Zen Buddhism they say cease expecting and you have all things. Well, what they're saying is lower your expectations and be happy with what you have, which is it's great. And I think at the time of Buddha that was wonderful. But we want to have great results. So I tell people, I want you to expect everything. I want you to think of the best case scenario. If you could write the script for your life and there were no limitations, what would that script look like? So remember, we talked about it earlier. You have to have the end result in mind. That's what we're talking about. What's the expected result of you going into hypnosis? Number 3, pretend as if it's already happened. This is the secret to hypnosis. You don't have to know the specifics of how to get there. That's where NLP comes in and when you get the feedback from your client. But the reality is, all things being equal, if you get yourself into a relaxed state, you have a system for relaxing your body, you have an expected result and you've plugged it into your brain, and then you act as if it's already happened, these things will happen for you. Hypnosis will happen. You will visualize it in your mind. You'll practice it in your thoughts. You'll live it through your behaviors and attitudes upon awakening. And this all happens because of these 3 simple steps.
Learn more about our exciting educational programs at quantumuniversity.com.